This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Welcome to News 25 here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Today is Monday, March 20th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Well, the Nye County Sheriff's Office persistence has paid off. They got their man over the weekend. Fugitive Anthony Bell's in custody, along with two females police say helped hide him out. The Nye County Sheriff's Office has taken into custody a wanted fugitive by the name of Anthony Bell. They also arrested two other individuals who were arrested on scene on Paiute for obstruction and harboring a wanted fugitive. Arrested on scene was 26-year-old Anthony Bell, Kathleen Giuliano, and Jacqueline Giuliano. Kathleen also has two other charges for failure to appear. Anthony Bell is facing charges of 2 counts of owning and possessing a gun by a prohibited person, and the original charges from a December of 2022 incident that occurred at the Prump Nugget, which was assault with a deadly weapon, aiming a gun at a person, drawing a deadly weapon in a threatening manner, possessing a short-barreled rifle, owning or possessing a gun by a prohibited person, failure to appear, also attempted assault with a deadly weapon. Bill also has a past history of a shooting that occurred on July 7th of 2021, in which he was arrested for shooting a person twice on Lout Drive here in Pahrump. That individual was transported via Mercy Air in critical condition, suffering from 2 gunshot wounds. Police say that on December 4th of 2022, Anthony Bell had an altercation at the Prump Nugget bar with another male individual. At that time, he went out to the parking lot, followed by security and the other male. They say that he pulled out a rifle, racked the weapon, and advanced on the security guard and the other male individual. At that time, he got into his car and fled the scene. Police attempted several times to arrest Bell for this alleged crime at his residence off of Paiute Boulevard. At one point, they surrounded the area on March 1st and could not locate the wanted fugitive. Once again, they surrounded the home right off of Kellogg Road and Paiute and were able to send SWAT teams in and located Anthony Bell and also arrested the 2 females for obstruction. No injuries were reported. Bell was arrested without incident. He is being held on $110,000 bail.
Hi, I'm Sheriff Joe McGill. Today, at about 9:40 this morning, we received information of a wanted fugitive at this address of 4000 East Paiute. This is in reference to an ongoing investigation which started back in December. An individual identified as Anthony Bell allegedly pointed a firearm at an individual in the parking lot of the Nugget here in Pahrump back in December. This is the second time we've had a SWAT operation at this premises due to the fact that Bell has been said to be staying at this property. This morning, deputies and investigators arrived and we had reason to believe that he was hiding inside this residence, so we conducted a SWAT operation. After long, extensive time here at this property, Mr. Bell was found hiding in the attic of the residence and was taken into custody. There were also 2 other individuals who live at this residence that were taken into custody and are being charged with harboring a fugitive. All 3 individuals are currently being transported to the Nye County Detention Center, where they will be booked for their charges. Thank you.
Well, the Nevada State Ethics Commission heard arguments on motions related to consolidated ethics cases regarding former Nye County Commissioner Leo Blundo and actions that they say he took to secure funding for his business during the COVID-19 pandemic. The commission granted a motion for summary judgment, finding that Blundo had violated the Nevada ethics laws, disclosure, and abstention requirements by not sufficiently disclosing his interest in the county's COVID grant funding program. Motions for summary judgment on other ethics violations were not granted, and those allegations will proceed to judiciary hearings scheduled for April 19th.
One of the violations at issue is Mr. Blendo's failure to properly disclose his conflict of interest regarding an agenda item that came before the County Commission in violation of NRS 281-420 subsection 1. The Nye County Commission was responsible for adopting policies governing how local businesses could apply for and receive COVID relief funds. After the initial adoption of these policies, Mr. Blendo submitted applications on behalf of his business to receive relief funds. Knowing that he had submitted these applications on behalf of his business, Mr. Blendo attended the November 10th, 2020 Commission meeting, at which one of the agenda items was the amendment of one of the policies regarding one of the programs that he applied for funds through. When that agenda item came up for discussion, Mr. Blendo disclosed only that he held a liquor license and that he was utilizing the programs the commission was setting policy for. However, Mr. Blendo also then misrepresented that he did not have a direct pecuniary interest in the policy. Mr. Blendo voted in favor of the amendment to the Nye County's CARE Act policy, which had the direct effect of increasing the amount of funds that his business received by $35,000. Mr. Blendo failed to provide the public with sufficient information to inform them how his private interest would be affected by his vote to increase the CARE's funding limits. To be sufficient, Mr. Blendo was required to disclose to the public that he had applied for funding on behalf of his business under the same program at issue, and that a change in the policy of the program, and especially an increase in the funding limits, would have a direct pecuniary impact on his business and therefore himself. Further, as the sole owner of his business, the pecuniary interests of that business are imputed to Mr. Blendo under the ethics law. Mr. Blendo's statement that he did not have a direct pecuniary interest in the CARES policy was therefore incorrect. The effect of this statement was to portray to the public that Mr. Blendo did not stand to financially benefit from the county's CARE policy or any change in that policy. The disclosure therefore failed to meet the requirements that it reasonably inform the public regarding the effect of his vote in favor of the amendment on it and what that effect would be on his personal private matters and associated interests. The evidence in this matter shows that Mr. Blendo repeatedly entered the Nye County Finance Office through a staff-only entrance, remained in staff-only areas that are not accessible to the general public, and he demanded assistance from county staff without scheduling an appointment as was required for members of the public. The evidence further shows that Mr. Blendo behaved in a way that caused county staff to believe they were required to provide him with special treatment in processing his CARES applications, or else their jobs may be at risk. Mr. Blendo's behavior was so disruptive and upsetting to county employees that several quit as a result, and the county's comptroller had to lock the staff door entrance and provide Mr. Blendo notice that he was no longer welcome in staff areas and must only interact with her regarding his CARES applications. Mr. Blendo also made numerous phone calls to Nye County staff to discuss his CARES applications, including a 40-minute phone call regarding an application for rental assistance that had been denied, and that had been denied by the comptroller. During that call, Mr. Blendo used his public position to pressure the comptroller to change her determination denying his application. The comptroller testified that Mr. Blendo's behavior during that phone call caused her to believe that her job could be at risk if she did not reconsider the denial of the application. Again, Mr. Blendo was not prevented by his public position from seeking assistance from county employees on his applications. He was required, however, to comply with the requirements of the ethics law by ensuring he did not use his public position to benefit his personal interests. The evidence shows that instead, Mr. Blendo used his public position to pressure his subordinates to provide him with special treatment. Summary judgment should therefore also be granted as to this code section. These same facts also support summary judgment in favor of the executive director as to Mr. Blendo's violation of NRS 281A 400 subsection 7, using government time, property, and equipment to benefit his and his business's significant personal and pecuniary interests. The undisputed facts show that Mr. Blendo improperly accessed private, non-public areas of county offices and repeatedly insisted on receiving county staff time not available to members of the public to benefit his own significant pecuniary interest. Summary judgment is therefore also warranted in the favor of the executive director as to this violation. As requested in our motion, the executive director is respectfully requesting that the commission grant his motion and find 12 violations of the ethics law against Mr. Blendo.
News 25 will return right after this break.
Your News 5, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, traffic was blocked in all directions on Pahrump South Side this afternoon for a fully engulfed vehicle fire. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue and Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies arrived on scene. It was in the area of Mans Road and Melissa Street. No one was reportedly inside that vehicle and no injuries were reported. Well, Nye Communities Coalition held a homeless wraparound on Friday. News 25 was on scene and spoke to Rachel Letty.
Well, today is our homeless wraparound event. We hold this event quarterly here at NICC. This is our second one of this year. We offer services to those living in homelessness here in Pahrump. Some of the services we offer are haircuts, showers, food bags to go. We always serve a warm meal here at the event. We have different organizations and agencies offering resources and services here. We do have Gen Mobile here who does provide free phones for those who qualify. Nevada Outreach is a partner organization who is here offering resources and services. We do have the mobile health clinic here offering some services as well. So different organizations kind of partner together to offer free services. We do a lot of on-the-foot flyer distribution here in town. There are areas where we can find individuals camping or living in trailers or different makeshift homes that we visit, and we bring the flyer to so they have that information. There's different areas in towns we can find individuals living in homelessness, and all of the distribution is done on the ground. We post to social media as well. Sometimes provide information in the newspaper to try to get the word out there as many ways as we can. So yesterday we were going to do some flyer distribution in an area of town where there are people camping and living. It's located in the desert, so with this rain, the area turned to mud and there was some flooding, so these individuals had to relocate. So yes, we've seen a little lower turnout today, I believe because of that situation yesterday, but we've still been able to help individuals here at this event. This event is organized by the Community Crisis Intervention Committee, and it's a committee which is outside of NICC, which NICC members are part of. And we host the event here at NICC as well. Different organizations, we also accept donations from the public as well, so some of that clothing is coming from community members. If you're interested in donating or helping or becoming involved in the event, you can reach out to me personally. My name is Rachel. You can reach me at my email, rachel@nicc.org, or by my phone number, 775-727-9970, extension 212.
Well, First Choice Pregnancy Center was not the only beneficiaries of the dessert auction held over the weekend at South Valley Baptist Church. The winners of the delicious goodies also took home some fabulous treats.
50, thank you, now 55. 55 up front, now 60 in the back. 60, now 65. 60, go 65. I'm way in the back at 60. I need 65 here. Yes, now 70. I'm up front at 65. I need 70. Yes, now 75.
Well, we had a dessert auction today for First Choice Pregnancy Center. I might say it went very well. We had about 30 entries and about 4 kids that came and baked themselves, and it turned out really well. We did very well with raising money for the center. Maybe 2,000, 3,000, I'm not sure. We'll know tomorrow how much we made, but we did very well. The center would be using the money for wipes that we go through a lot. I know we need a few high chairs, pack and play, so we might have that towards that purchase. This is our 7th year. I've been a director for 7 years now, and Ron Chase has always come out and help us with the auctioning of the desserts. Things have picked up, and we're very blessed and fortunate that we can have the dessert auctions again. For the dessert auction, when the volunteers are from our center, our staff usually helps out and takes care of writing the names down and also taking care of the money. And so it turned out really well. Our next event is a yard sale May 19th, 20th, and 21st, and it will be at our center. Our center is located at 2240 East Calvada Boulevard, and if you have any things you'd like to donate, we would love to have it. The only thing we're not accepting is clothes. You can call the center at 775-751-2229, and our hours are Monday through Thursday, 12 to 4. Wednesday is 10 to 4.
All right, your health report on the other side of this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, March is Endometriosis Awareness Month. For those unfamiliar, endometriosis causes tissue similar to the lining of a woman's uterus to grow in other places, like the abdomen and pelvic area. It can also cause painful periods like fertility issues.
Still in the United States, the diagnostic delay for this disease is approximately 7 to 10 years. So patients do suffer for a very long time before they are diagnosed.
Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Miguel Luna Russo says there are a couple of reasons why a woman may not know why she has endometriosis. For one, they may think the cramps they are experiencing during their periods is normal. Another could be that surgery may be needed to confirm their diagnosis. However, the European Society of Human Reproduction and Embryology has declared that's no longer the gold standard. Many physicians are encouraged to now use clinical history physical exams, MRI imaging, and ultrasounds to diagnose. Dr. Luna says there's also some research being done to identify possible biomarkers in the blood.
There's a lot of research that's being performed mostly by startups in the health tech companies that are looking at non-invasive markers in the blood to kind of diagnose endometriosis. Those are actually a good idea because we can target those markers with drugs down the line in the future.
And as far as treatment goes, there are multiple options available, including surgery and medications. Dr. Luna encourages anyone who is experiencing pain and discomfort to consult their physician.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, taking a look outside. We're right forward Apache in the 215, looking out the freeway. We're going to find out what's in store for this week right after this break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios and worldwide on the local BTV app. The app I'm really enjoying on my phone. It's like my new favorite app. You should get it. Check out Fernley, 54 degrees, 56 out there in Fallon. Carson City hit 48, and that's as good as it got, and that's the Cold Spot Award winners. Congratulations. Out in Tonopah, it was 50. 51 in beautiful Goldfield. Burley, 58 degrees in beautiful Beatty. And it's 64 in Amargosa. You're our Hot Spot Award winner in Las Vegas at 61. It's not too bad. Death Valley, 75, even better. But here in the Paradise of Pahrump, let's take a look at 61 degrees. It's just a tick off our today's high at 62 degrees a little bit earlier. Winds out of the south-southwest, 10 miles per hour. As the sun rose this morning in all its glory, hope and promise is 647. There's a wind advisory that hasn't quite manifested itself yet, but check this out. It'll come later tonight. Sunset scheduled for about 6:55, heading down to a low of 45. It's going to be a gorgeous sunset under those cloudy skies. Still the wind advisory in effect. Still the winds out of the south-southeast to just 10 miles per hour. But tomorrow, oh Lord, look at this, 23 mile per hour average gusts, and we'll see gusts up to 45, 50 miles per hour. 82% chance of rain, so that is driving sideways in a fury. Wednesday, about half as much rain, about half as much wind, half again as much on Thursday and Friday. Look at that. Clear skies, beautiful Friday we can look forward to as we approach the weekend. Looks like the clouds will come back a little bit, but the temperatures are rocketing up to 61 degrees. We start out Monday in the 60s. Maybe that'll continue throughout the week as we enjoy nascent spring. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
And as John is telling you there, we are having that winter warning. We do have some graphics there, the winter storm warning. They are showing the Sierra Mountains there that there's going to be some snow accumulations, 10 to 20 inches up there above 5,500 feet. Spring Mountains, of course, the same 10 to 20 inches. Lincoln County, to 14 above 5,500 feet. They all have some wind gusts, of course, 45 to 55 miles per hour. We are talking a little bit about gusty winds on Tuesday. Of course, all the roads impacted: 160, 163, 95, 15, 40, California 162, and California 190. And they are talking about those happening all on Tuesday. And the Spring Mountain, we always talk about the pass, because I know travelers here from Pahrump, travelers from Vegas going over that pass, they are saying that there might be about an inch of snow happening over there on Tuesday. They are saying a little bit more, 1 to 2 inches up there on the mountain, but be careful traveling. I know that it's 41 on the overnights down here in the basin, so you know it's going to be real cold up there on that Spring Mountain Pass, so definitely be careful traveling. They are predicting this for Tuesday, and so that would be in the overnight hours from Tuesday until Wednesday. We'll keep you posted on that, and I know John will keep you posted on tomorrow night's newscast for the latest in the weather, and of course we'll keep you posted on our local Pahrump Facebook page as well. Thanks for tuning in to News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Good night.